And we're live.
Thanks, Jim. Hi, everybody. We're back. Thursday's Live, episode number 9 already. Can you believe that? We have some gorgeous decor and jewelry and apparel for you today from all over the world, all handmade, of course, and all fair trade. And our theme today is getting ready for Thanksgiving, which it's time to do. And I was really thinking about that this morning. And the reality is most of us are guests on Thanksgiving. So usually we've got one host and then many, many guests. And all of us need to make sure we bring gifts, of course. So that's what inspired this episode, as well as apparel and jewelry that I'll show you that's so beautiful that you might want to wear on Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving themes. And so much stuff coming up. Oh, remember Jenna's in the chat with Jenna. She's got all sorts of giveaways going on right now. Our $50 gift certificates to NOVICA.com, as well as this brand new beautiful t-shirt we've had the last couple weeks. If you want to be a further NOVICA ambassador, as all of you are already, and I'm so grateful for that. NOVICA, the Impact Marketplace. So we're giving away some of those t-shirts today to anyone who's commenting. We'll do a random drawing afterward, and Jenna will get with you and let you know if you won. And the gift certificates are so beautiful, of course, and they come like this and in a handmade cloth pouch. So you can re-gift them for Christmas or holidays or birthdays if you don't use it yourself. All right, so we need to get started here. And I'm thinking, okay, so my thoughts about Thanksgiving are, as I mentioned, we have to all bring gifts. We all know that. What do we bring? Sometimes we're contributing to the meal and bringing some, part of the meal. But we still, when we show up to somebody's house, always, for any occasion, and certainly for Thanksgiving, we need a gift in hand, right? Even if it's our parents, especially if it's our parents. So, we think about what that is. And so traditionally, flowers are, of course, the norm, and always the emergency last-minute gift, too. But flowers fade, so we're really thinking today about what lasts and what endures. And that's so much about what handmade is all about and what NOVICA is all about. And that's bringing meaning and authenticity into everything we do, everything in our lives. And of course, that includes gifts and what we share with others. And what we share with others speaks so much about ourselves. So yes to flowers. Let's put those flowers in a beautiful handmade vase that lasts long after the flowers have faded. Something that endures, that we are remembered by and appreciated by long after Thanksgiving passes, or a birthday, or a special holiday. Or just a dinner date. You always want to come with something, right? We all want to share, and we have to remember to do that. So especially on Thanksgiving. So one of the things that I just thought was so beautiful, and Michael picked this out on the NOVICA website, is this so pears. Of course, this is a ripped pear, so we're not selling that today. But we have a beautiful pear that's handmade in onyx. It's a pure gemstone pear. Made, isn't that just beautiful? And that's made by a wonderful artisan family in Mexico. And pears are so autumn, right? They start coming in right about now. Like mine aren't quite ripe. This is from my tree outside. But we really think of pears as Thanksgiving through Christmas part of our meals and gifting, Christmas pears that you give in beautiful boxes, that sort of thing. So we thought this was a wonderful token, lasting gift that you might think about presenting for Thanksgiving. It's just one of so many ideas. Of course, we have thousands and thousands of gifts on the NOVICA site. We're the leading handmade gift site in the whole world for handmade and fair trade. And so there are thousands of things to look at. And if you go to the NOVICA.com website today, you'll see we have a brand new homepage. And it's really focused on gifts, especially as we enter the gift giving season. And you can really sort by your recipient, who you're shopping for. We really make it easy, which we need to do because we have so many choices. So we thought this was something really special to highlight. That's a solid gemstone, about the size of a pear. Let me see if I can see a little bit of the details on this. And by the way, right now, 15% off everything we're showing you today and make sure you go to the link. I suggest you do that right off the bat. Go to the first link that's pinned in the chat right now. If you click on that, you go to our partner eStreamly's shopping cart for us so that you can do buy now while we're actually live. Everything while we're live is 15% off in the shopping app. So if you like something, stick it in your shopping cart and you can watch the rest of the show and see if there's other stuff you like before you check out or decide what you like best. But that's there, and that's the first link in the comments. And Jenna's there in the comments helping you figure that out. And by the way, I read all the comments after the show. I'd love to know what you're doing for Thanksgiving and what you're thinking about. Do you have a theme? Do you have a color scheme? What's on your mind for decor and for food and all that good stuff? Love to share that. And so many of our commenters are becoming friends. I mean, you guys are all spending an hour together every Thursday. We're starting to know each other and what we like. And it's just been so fun getting to know everybody in the comments. So keep it up. And I would love to read later when I get off air what you guys are planning for Thanksgiving.
So Catherine, what's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Oh, well, okay, so I'm a vegetarian. So, of course, actually most Thanksgiving dishes are vegetarian because so instead of turkey, my favorite thing to do every year is I make a vegetarian version of stuffing, but with so many vegetables, like super rich. And of course, delicious bread stuffing in it too. Really flavorful, filled with herbs from my garden. And then I put those inside a baked mini pumpkins. So, the beautiful pumpkins you see all over the stores for decor. I bake those, whether the orange ones or the multicolored ones, and then fill them with stuffing. So that's my favorite thing.
Yeah,
What about
you? I actually like cranberry. And I also love having apple pie.
Oh yes, of course.
Yes. So I think that would fit into your categories, right? Because if you were vegan, maybe not, because sometimes you have to use some dairy products. But I think vegetarian, we're okay.
I actually do great. Yeah, I do great on Thanksgiving because there's so many. All those side dishes are basically mostly vegetarian. So yeah. Oh, apple pie. Yeah. Come to think of it, I wonder about pear pie. Has anybody made pear pie? I've got so many pears on my tree right now, so I got to figure out what to do with those. Pear pie I've never heard of, but it sounds great. Why not? All right, so what can I tell you about this? This is solid onyx. This gemstone comes beautifully wrapped, and of course, it's just a perfect small gift that you come in hand when you cross the threshold and say thank you to your guests for inviting you. It's made by the Sierra family in Mexico. And the prices that Jim's showing you on the screen, all the prices that you're going to see today, 15% off if you buy right now during the live stream or for the, I think, hour following the live stream. And again, that link to buy now while we're talking is in the comments. So you won't miss anything that we're talking about. You'll see everything, but you can shop at the same time, anything that we're showing you today. And then we also are giving out a code today for people watching after the show, or any of you as well that are watching right now live. Episode 9, number 9, episode 9. If you want to buy anything at all on NOVICA for the next several days, we've extended it through Sunday this week to make it a little longer shopping experience, because we noticed we have a lot of viewers come after the show and watch it through the weekend. So episode 9, anything you love on NOVICA right now, 15% off through Sunday. But let's focus on what we've got at hand right here. So this pear is so beautiful, so smooth, and the shiny golden leaf and the stem are actually made of brass, all hand hammered, of course. And that stone is carved out of pure onyx by the Sierra family in Mexico. Jake from Birmingham, Utah says 5 stars. Just wanted to say thank you for such a beautiful gift for my wife this Christmas. So he gave it as a Christmas gift. It looks striking on our mantelpiece. Such talent. Thank you so, so much. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate that. Annie from Ontario, Canada says just beautiful. Far exceeded my expectations. Love hearing that. We hear that a lot at NOVICA. We are super into exceeding expectations, as are every single artisan who is creating these. And there are thousands and thousands of featured artisans on NOVICA, and all of them live for your comments and live for your feedback. So yeah, that's the one of the many great things about shopping direct, artisan direct, besides prices being amazing for both the artisan and the customer. Artisans making more than they could historically through NOVICA. and customers paying less than you'd ever see any of these beautiful works of art in a local shop. One of the great things is that there's that direct connection. So there's accountability and responsibility and pride in artistry. So you really get the most flawless pair when you order directly from the artisan rather than shopping, randomly online anonymously. So we love that about NOVICA too. Denise purchased the pair. She says, distinctive elegance, absolutely beautiful piece that adds to my kitchen. So yeah, it's an all-season beautiful piece of decor. And let's see. Oh, it's 7 inches high, so it's a little bit bigger than the pear from my tree here, the real pear. This is a common pear, by the way, my very favorite kind. I planted this tree maybe 5 years ago, and this year it's produced 7 fruits or 9 fruits. I'm so excited about. I have another pear tree with many fruits that aren't as delicious, but it looks a little odd, but can't wait to try that. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about these artisans. And Jim, you could leave the picture up for just a minute if people are interested in looking at it and shopping, and then we could switch to the artisan picture. So our quote today is from Odette Sierra, part of the Sierra family that hand makes these gemstones in the state of Puebla, Mexico. Her father, Edgar Sierra, established the workshop 30 years ago. He unfortunately did pass away. She says, we have worked with NOVICA since 2000, so really since our launch. We were founded in 1999, of course, launched in 2000, and we ship now to more than 100 countries, but 80 countries just this year alone that we've been customers in, millions of customers all over the world that are passionate about fair trade and handmade as we are. We're all here, as everybody that watches this show regularly knows, we're all here for one real reason, and that's to change the world in the way that we can to make a big difference in people's lives by shopping directly and by supporting fair trade and handmade. And that's our mission at NOVICA, my mission personally in life, and as I know is true of all of our amazing customers around the world, millions of customers. It is a growing movement for fair trade and handmade, and we are all craving authenticity and direct connection, I believe now more than ever, because we're like living in this age of mass production and big box stores and anonymity, and we are all craving filling that void that we have, that direct connection with other human beings and with meaning. And that's where NOVICA stepped in 2000, 24 years ago, and when we actually officially launched. And yeah, anyway, 131 million now sent to artisans around the world in remote regions that are so grateful for your business and that they can earn fair trade prices for the first time for most of them in their histories. So Odette says, as a family that works together, we've had situations that have challenged us, such as the loss of my father. It was tough, but we became stronger and made ourselves value life and its enjoyments even more. I love that. Working with NOVICA is a true blessing. Our goal of sharing the beauty of the natural stones of our country while sharing a part of ourselves as a family. And their town, by the way, in Puebla, Mexico, is renowned for its gemstone carvings. And the Sierra family does more than just decor, unique decor pieces like this. They also make beautiful chess sets made out of onyx and marble. And onyx and marble is mined right there in Puebla, in their state. So yeah, their whole town is our craftsmen working in these arts and other kinds of jewelry boxes made of gemstones. And yeah, so many beautiful, beautiful things. And so they're one of our favorite 5-star artisans that we thought we'd bring to your attention today. Yeah, okay. So remember to join Jen in the chat, and please, everybody hit your like button, because then we get to stay on air and chat with us. That all helps drive visibility, and only through visibility are we going to reach enough people to get to keep doing this show. And we really want to do this and expand it and do it every day for those who want to take a break with us during lunch or a little midday siesta, mid-afternoon siesta if you're in the East Coast. And yeah, and all the artisans are so excited to tune in their different time zones when they wake up in different regions of the world, and Africa, Asia, and Latin America. And so anyway, thanks for helping us create this community, and we're going to create a bigger and better one by, if everybody could share to 2 friends. If you're watching right now, just hit that share button. You've got to know 2 people getting ready to go somewhere for Thanksgiving that would love to have some ideas about what to wear and what to gift and bring, and and maybe even cook if Jim and I keep talking about food. It's making me hungry. All right, so remember, 15% off all the prices you're seeing right now if you buy in-app during the live stream or shortly thereafter. And that link is pinned in the comments. That's the first comment. You can shop and watch and interact with us at the same time. All right. And Jenna, let me know if anybody's got any specific questions that I can help with. I'm sure Jenna knows all the answers for sure. She does, but I'm here too if you guys want to talk about anything that we haven't talked about yet. All right, so we're going to move on to the next item that's featured, and that's the bright sheen copper napkin rings. So they're handcrafted, also in Mexico. I've got 3 items from Mexico today, from pure copper. And so they're formed and then hand hammered. So they're formed at high temperature when the copper is red hot, and then hand hammered while they're still hot by the family that makes them in Mexico. And so these come as a set of 6. And if you are the host serving Thanksgiving dinner, these are a beautiful addition to the table, of course, and the colors are so perfect for Thanksgiving autumn tones. And as Jim was also pointing out, just perfect. Earlier today, he was saying just perfect color. Yeah, I think that's Michael's idea too when he chose these. And you could, of course, buy a few sets if you're expecting a big group for Thanksgiving to make sure everybody's covered, or just show up with this beautiful box of copper napkin rings that come, and maybe the host doesn't use them this Thanksgiving, but they're sure going to use them at their next dinner party. What a beautiful gift to bring to your hosts. Of course, everything at NOVICA comes with, a handwritten postcard, hand-signed, from depending on what region you order it from. And also always a beautiful keepsake card. That's part of the reason that gifting from NOVICA is such an amazing experience for the recipient, as well as the gifter. So you'll always get a gift card that's beautifully printed that tells a little bit about the artisan and about the item. So most people keep those, and they'll keep those in their drawer and have a story to tell about who made them for years to come. So the nice thing about these kind of gifts is they last forever, and they do often become heirlooms. So yeah, again, flowers are great. Bring flowers, but bring something that lasts too. And always think about that option when you're going to be invited to a dinner party or a birthday celebration. Something that endures is always an extra special gift, as well as the yummy stuff and the disposable flowers that fade, sadly. All right, so join Jen in the chat. Everybody chatting with Jen is automatically entered to win $50 gift certificates if you're chatting during the live stream. She's sending out several of those today, and we'll let you know if you won afterward. Please like, comment, and share. And remember, 15% all purchases today during the live stream. If you shop in the Buy Now app, in the comments, pinned in the comments, and for the next few days using the code episode 9 with the number 9. If you're shopping on the novica.com website, we'd love you to use that, and then we get to know that this show is reaching people that are shopping, and then we get to stay on air. We want to make this bigger and expand it. The artisans are so thrilled we're doing this and love.
Well, and Catherine, I think you're going to love this comment from Tara, who I know is one of your big
I love Tara.
jewelry fans. But she said that she loves these shows because she learns about so many of the beautiful things NOVICA sells besides jewelry. And I would agree. I mean, since I've gotten to start working with you guys, I'm just amazed at all the products. And I've been telling, friends and family, because, my mom is from Peru. So to see these Peruvian artisans making these great things, it's like I might have to start ordering some of that stuff. But
there's really nothing like it, you guys, to get, and Jim, you must, but to get a package from a faraway place, with all the feel of that culture, and the handwritten postcard from, for example, Peru. And they're all different postcards, but this has alpaca on the front. So, for example, Jim, who I know you love this sweater, if you were to order this sweater or gift it, it comes with a postcard signed by the artisan or the person that's packing it for them, and with a story that lives with it. It's not, it's memorable, and that's why so much of NOVICA gifts, so often the customers, when they post their reviews, they talk about this becoming an heirloom so often. I mean, several times today, I also see that coming up in my notes, because it's really true. It's something with a name behind it and a story behind it, and there's really nothing like that. It's such a special experience. Turning back to these napkin rings, I want to tell you a little bit about them. Oh, we also have this gorgeous vase I'm going to show you next by the same artisan. So, but these napkin rings, so set of 6, all from Mexican copper. And avoid abrasives and don't put them in the dishwasher, they said, or you know how copper can get that copper antique hue, that little bit of greenish color that can come. So those are about 1.4 inches high by 8 inches, the bandwidth. Or I'm sorry, 0.8, 1.4 and by 0.8. Carol, one of the wonderful customers who has purchased them, she says these make striking table accents. These nicely crafted copper rings lend a very rich, handcrafted accent to tablescapes. Yeah, I totally agree. And I know my neighbor Jan, who's an retired event planner for many, many years, one of the top event planners in the country. She goes crazy with amazing things like this at her. We're gonna have to show you some. I'll take some pictures of what she does for Thanksgiving, because I know it's going to be amazing. She really goes, pulls out all the stops and does all these little details like these copper rings. All right, so the next item, also by these same artists, Rosie and Daniel in Mexico, is a beautiful vase. So when we talk about gifts to bring to your Thanksgiving hosts, or if you're the host, any of these items obviously work really well on your table. And this vase that Jim's going to show you on your centerpiece, also made and matching these rings out of hand-hammered copper. So the copper, Rosie and Daniel heat it till it's red hot, shape it in this kind of pentagonal form, and then they meticulously hand-hammer it and then apply an antiquing to it. It's just stunning. So next time you show up with flowers for your date or your dinner date or to your Thanksgiving host, bring them. And a vase like this doesn't even need flowers in it, of course. It's a gift unto itself, but bring them in something that will last
And
forever.
it's got such a unique look to it. I think that's what's really cool about this.
Yeah. It really speaks handmade, and of course everyone is going to be different, but along those same lines. And people love authenticity, again, more now than ever, because we're all getting so used to this big box store mentality where everybody has the same thing and everything's the same and there's no story behind anything. It's just so sad. So we are working so hard to change that. And along with millions and millions of people around the world that are impassioned too. And it's a growing movement, you guys. It's, we're calling it the handmade revolution. And believe me, it is becoming that. And we would love you to help us make it that, because it changes lives. The artisans that are selling direct to you through NOVICA and through many other wonderful handcraft. We happen to be the best known and the most enduring and the largest fair trade website in the world. But there are so many wonderful people doing wonderful things, working artisan direct on a smaller scale, or artisans direct on their own websites. Let's encourage this every chance we get. If you have a local arts and crafts fair in town, go and frequent it once a year or however often it comes to your town. Support the artisans directly. It's so different than the small amount of money that they could possibly earn selling to a big box store. And of course, little artisans can't supply big box stores. So they're relying on us, and we're bringing that back in a big way through NOVICA, in a really big way. I mean, we have 75,000 unique handmade works of art, jewelry. We're the largest handmade fair trade jewelry website in the world, and as well for decor and ethical apparel. So everybody get on board and stop shopping at the big box stores. We're not doing anybody good, including ourselves, doing that. So, and with prices, when you shop directly, you're able to buy at prices that really rival the big box stores. So highly recommend. All right, so let me tell you a little bit more about this vase that Jim is showing you. Great for Thanksgiving hosts, or to either display or to bring as a gift. Oh, and they wanted to say they added some modern touches to this. So it's very historic tradition in this part of Mexico where they work with copper from a local mine. But Rosie and Daniel love to infuse the history of their region with modern accents. So you can see some of the modern shaping in this vase. Let's see. David, who purchased it, says very high quality metalwork, a stunning vase, superb craftsmanship. And oh, and let me tell you a little bit about the artisans. Rosie, Yvette, and Daniel Gonzalez are their full names. They're copper artisan designers in Mexico. They are able to work now with many master artisans that work with them to help them make their vases and their other copper items, like the napkins we're also showing you right now. And you guys, let me just pause and say, please hit that like button. Please share with 2 of your friends. And please chat with Jen in the comments. We're doing all sorts of giveaways with the t-shirts and the $50 gift certificates, which are so handy this time of year as you're getting ready to either gift them or use them for gifts. And help us drive visibility for this, please. We'd so gratefully appreciate it. And we're trying to expand this, and the more people that see it, the more people whose lives we change, both on the artisan side, but people too that are customers. So we all need to think about where we buy things from and the impacts they have on the world and on individuals, and trying to figure out ways in which we can make the world a better place. This is one of them. We can, every dollar we spend, we can choose to spend in a way that's beneficial. So let's always think about that before we hit the buy button. Where are we shopping from and who's benefiting? And can we help bring more of that income to the actual people that are working so hard with their hands to make things? So, all right, let's see. So let me tell you a little bit about Rosie, Yvette, and Daniel Gonzalez that make these beautiful copper items. They say, in each of our copper designs, we want to share the awareness that you're holding a piece of history in your hands. When you're able to give a gift like that as you cross the threshold on Thanksgiving, coming up very soon, it has so much meaning. And it shares this concept that we're all part of something greater than ourselves. And that so many of us, it takes a village, it really does, to make the world go round. And when we have names behind each of the things in our home, it's such a special thing. There's nothing like it. I mean, I can tell you who made pretty much everything in my house. And every time when I walk through my house, I smile, not just because it makes me feel good because it's my style of decor, but because I know that all this love went into every little thing. And I feel it. I feel it every day. And so highly recommend experiencing that. As I know, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, because all of our wonderful customers on Facebook and YouTube already do that and already know that and feel the same way. So that's why I ask everybody to share with a couple of people that don't know about NOVICA yet. And we'll spread the love and spread awareness. Really appreciate that. All right, so Rosa says, I grew up in a family with a wonderful tradition of copperwork. It was all thanks to my grandfather, Francisco Paz de Navria, who in our family began this fascinating art of designing and crafting objects in copper. He taught my parents, they taught me, and I taught my husband, Daniel Gonzalez. This art is now the heart of my extended family. At every family get-together, copper is always a topic of our conversation, she says. And she said, this style of copperwork, I'm still quoting her, originated with the arrival of Don Vasco de Quiroga. He was the first bishop and very famous bishop of Michoacan, Mexico. I'll tell you a little bit more about him. He gained the affection of the native Purepecha people thanks to his good works and the economic means that he promoted. After the conquest, Vasco's kind and affectionate treatment of the Purepecha, kind and affectionate being in contrast to everything else, the craziness of the conquest going on around them. But this was a good bishop, as history remembers him and as the local people remember him. And so his legacy was noted throughout colonial Mexico. He's a revered historical figure now. She says, Rosie says, what I love best about copper is its simplicity and how it lets you transform it into whatever you want. I love the color. It's indescribable. She says, my main inspiration comes from nature and its many tonalities. And you can really see that in that vase. And about Don Vasco, the bishop. So, I did a little more research about him. I know about him. I know about most of his legacy. But of course, I was curious last night. So I was really delving deep into his history because the conquest is so controversial. And so actually, of course, Thanksgiving related, there are two sides to that feeling about thankfulness, but thankfulness is a good thing. So we do celebrate thankfulness for sure. And Don Vasco de Quiroga, he was sent to this region 3 years after a very brutal conquistador came through and just really wreaked havoc in this particular region of Mexico and Michoacan. So he was sent kind of as an emissary to set a different tone as we understand it. So before he arrived, when the Aztecs and the Purepecha are a different group. So the Aztecs were their own empire. The Purepecha had their own empire near it, next to it, but very separate. And when they heard that the Aztecs were getting wiped out by the conquistadors, they sent emissaries bearing gifts of gold to Cortez to win him over and to, agree to be friends instead of enemies. Unfortunately, that was a big mistake. So that sent the conquistadors into what we now know as Michoacan. And the state, that whole region was definitely plundered, and the people as well for the gold. And so that's why Don Vasco is revered today, because he came in and tried to quiet things down and make things better. So that's that very interesting history. And the history behind that vase is that he really promoted these handcrafts in a big way and helped get a lot of the locals, the Purepecha indigenous people, working in these crafts more. They were already experts in metallurgy, and that's why the Aztecs never defeated them, as we understand it, or the historic belief, because that was already so much in their part of their culture, more so than the Aztecs. But he really made that a commercial, helped make that more of a commercial venture for them, and that's why they still remember him. And so much of that region is dedicated to copper crafts today. All right. So very interesting. So when you have that vase in your home, you know a little more of the story behind it and the history behind it, which is really interesting if you look it up. There it goes, very, very deep. All right. So much more to show you. More beautiful gifting items, beautiful apparel. I want to tell you about some of the stuff I'm wearing, and this sweater that Jim, our producer, has fallen in love with. And yeah, a lot more, and beautiful jewelry. Remember to hit the like button right now, please. Helps drive visibility for the show. Plus, we want to know that you like us. And Jenna's in the chat right now answering questions. And we really want to answer questions, know what you guys are thinking about and planning for Thanksgiving, but also every single comment that you add there is helping generate visibility too for the show. It's helping the algorithms in Facebook and YouTube, and I think we're now on LinkedIn as well, and soon to be on Amazon Live. All of those algorithms are boosted by activity, so we gotta know that you're there. Really appreciate your being there. And again, the more you can share this page right now, share it out. Even if someone doesn't watch it right now, they watch it later when they're trying to fall asleep. They're bored and they're tired of watching movies, and we'll teach and educate a little bit, and all get to feel that we're part of something greater together as a family, and we're all part of this big handmade family. We're growing and developing. Love reading the comments after. It makes me so happy to see everybody participating. All right, and remember, 15% off through Sunday, anything you buy on NOVICA.com. If you're watching the show, you're the only ones that have the code, episode 9 with the number 9. And so you can buy anything you're seeing today or through the weekend, anything on the website. More than 75,000 handmade works of art. And if you shop right now in the buy now, which we highly recommend, so the artisans feel the love in the moment, 15% off the prices Jim is showing you now. For example, with this vase, which at $129.99 is an amazing deal for copper, super expensive right now. It has been for a very long time. That's an amazing price, only possible because it's artisan direct. But if you figure 15% off that, very significant. So shop now and buy now in that link in the comments. Jenna will help you with that. Okay, now we're moving to textiles. So next up, also for Thanksgiving, either as a gift, but certainly for your Thanksgiving table, beautiful gift to bring though too, are these beautiful napkins. And these are called the Peaceful Stripes. Of course, we love everything about peace. So the name even is something that I love. So these come as a set of 6 napkins. They are perfect dinner napkins, the perfect size and shape. And they're so textural. These are hand woven. I'm going to tell you how these are hand woven. Yeah, they've got this nice, you can really tell it's a hand woven weave, and that's very much on purpose, and hand dyed. All right. The hand dyed cotton is then woven into this. I don't know how to fold it exactly, but let me tell you a little bit about these. So these are by Eladio Chiroy in Guatemala. And I'm going to tell you about him. Very interesting story. So kind of a sapphire blue, really blue. Yeah, I think the color looks pretty right on the screen there, but yeah, they're very sapphire rich blue. And then they're woven of 100% cotton on a petal loom. So there is Eladio, who I think is 80. I'm going to check in a minute. I've got it in my notes. But he's weaving these, each one of these, probably with the help of a few assistants, on petal looms at his home workshop. And I mean, when you're sitting around the Thanksgiving table and it turns to conversations, especially if you're with your family, that maybe you don't want to talk about. Maybe there's too much politics and maybe there's too much religion for some people, depending on where you stand. And I'm not referencing events of today. That was not referencing events going on in the world today, but just in general. And we know that religion and politics tend to infuse too many Thanksgivings with unfriendly conversations. So talk about your napkins and who made them and the history behind them and the culture, and talk about your beautiful vase and your napkin holders and how we are all here to change the world by not shopping at box stores, but by shopping direct. And how Eladio, a man who's I think 80 or 81 in Guatemala, who is waiting to hear your reviews and so excited to get your orders, and how he is putting food on the table and sending kids to school, I think, if I don't have my bios mixed up here, or grandkids maybe. Because of this ability, thanks to the internet, we can all talk directly and shop directly and buy directly from people in remote regions of the world. So that is what I suggest, talking about when things need to take a turn at Thanksgiving this year. There is so much positive stuff going on in the world, and we are trying to help be influencers in that realm, and as are you who support and shop and watch the show and share the show. So thank you. And comment. Don't leave Jenna alone in the comments, you guys. She loves interacting with you guys. And okay, so Eladio, oh my gosh, he's amazing. He has all 5-star reviews. Of course, he has many other products too. He says machine wash separately in cold water, dry on low heat. Yes, because they're pure cotton and that nice open weave. Yeah, it could shrink a little bit if you do too high a heat. So yeah, perfect size for dinner parties, and as well as just using in your kitchen. But those are perfect for your table setting. All right, let me tell you a little bit of Eladio Chiroy Hernandez, a weaver in Guatemala. He was born in 1942. Maybe my math isn't quite right. Well, anyway, he was born in 1942, one of 10 children. He says, because we were such a large family, we didn't have a love of money. We didn't have a lot of money, but my father began weaving on a traditional hand loom, and my mother sold his weavings door to door. They worked hard, and thank God we never lacked an education or missed a meal. It's so amazing how many people manage to support large families, 10 kids, in a poverty-stricken area of Guatemala. The world's an amazing place. He says, after finishing primary school, I began learning to weave. I became a teacher and taught mathematics in public schools for 28 years. I always set up 1 or 2 looms to teach young people how to weave. At the same time, I also created apparel and accessories with hand-woven fabrics. It was such an honor for me to continue this beautiful art that I learned from my father as a boy. As a child, I would dream about becoming like my father. Wow, isn't that a great legacy to leave behind, that your kid wants to be just like you? Pretty awesome. He says, you, meaning NOVICA, and our amazing customers, you have opened up a big door of opportunity for me, because I want to help keep our Guatemalan weaving artistry from disappearing. Like other crafts, the textile arts enrich our culture. I plan to continue weaving for the rest of my life. Oh yeah, Eladio is now 81. Amazing. So let's send some love to Eladio. You guys, somebody's got to order those napkins right now. They're so beautiful. Set of 6. So order. How many people are you having for Thanksgiving? Or how many people are at the Thanksgiving you're going to? Order that many and a few extras, because extra people always show up. All right, highly recommend those. I love them. Okay, remember, right now, if you're in the chat, $50 gift cards that Jenna is giving away randomly. She will be letting you know afterward. Please like, comment, and share. We are surviving on your likes, comments, and shares. That's how we're going to spread the word and keep this show going and get it bigger, and hopefully daily eventually. And then 15% off any of the prices Jim is showing you right now there on the screen, and 15% off with code episode 9 through the weekend. So today through Sunday, if you're watching this afterward because you're at work right now in whatever time zone you are and you can't watch and you're not on lunch break, go to NOVICA, buy anything that you want. 75,000 choices. And check out the new homepage. It's so beautiful. I love our tech team is so amazing. Duan and Serena and large tech team that makes all that come to life. All right. We are moving on to something, again, that can be gifted or definitely you need on hand for celebrating Thanksgiving. Whether you fill them with sparkling wine, or whether you fill them with sparkling apple juice or sparkling pear juice, or if you fill them with sparkling waters and juices for the kids. These champagne flutes are so beautiful. We all know that the traditional champagne flute doesn't vary much, and we all have the same champagne flutes on our tables, right? But look at these, handmade also in Mexico. So this is our 3rd or 4th item from Mexico today. So beautiful. These are hand blown. So of course, when you turn them over, as Roberto Milk, one of our co-founders, who's half Peruvian, also like Jim is, Jim, our producer. If you turn them, anything truly hand-blown glass, turn it over and you're going to feel a rough spot. See where the bottom of that glass is. You run your finger over it and you're going to feel a really rough little spot in the center. That's called the pontil, as Rob likes to remind us. And that makes you know that it's truly handmade. And these are truly handmade by the Cantel blown glass artisans in Guatemala. Oh yeah, Guatemala, not Mexico. They have a really interesting story, which I'm going to tell you about. But let me tell you first about these glass. So they specialize in recycled glass, and NOVICA loves and highly encourages and promotes environmental sustainability among all the thousands and thousands of artisans we work with. So we work with so many incredible glass blowers, and most of them specifically work with recycled glass, like this group does. So 100% recycled glass, set of 4 lovely slender champagne flutes. So if you're going to have 12 people over, you need 3 sets. Put them in your shopping cart right now. Buy now, 15% off automatically in your cart from the prices you're seeing right now, which are the normal everyday NOVICA prices, which are already amazing. Go compare quality handmade champagne flutes or non-handmade, just quality brand champagne flutes, and you'll see what an amazing price that is. Yeah, and these are handmade. They have a story and an artisan keepsake card that comes with them to give to your hosts or to save with them in your cabinet. So very tiny bubbles in the glass. So even when the champagne starts getting a little flat, they still have that beautiful bubbly look to them. Very important. So those are 7.75 inches high, about 2.6 inches diameter. Dishwasher top rack, although the artisans recommend hand wash when possible. So let me tell you a little bit about these artisans. All 5-star reviews. They have sold so many different glassware products that they make on NOVICA.com. It's a cooperative. It was the idea of 15 artisans who worked together as employees at another big glass blowing manufacturer that was in Guatemala for cheap labor, and had so many, people working in a big factory situation, as is the case all over much of the world, and certainly Latin America here near us. So 15 of those master glass blowers said, hey, let's see if we can do this on our own. So they formed a cooperative. They all worked together. They formed that in 1976. And let's see. One of the members says, to create our designs, we recycle glass that we purchase from businesses and individuals. By recycling, our work contributes to the ecology. Yes, it does. And we love that. In all the years we've been working in the Cooperative, we've learned an infinity of things, he said, some easily, others through errors, but we've always had the attitude that we can learn something from every experience, no matter how difficult. So true. He says, our work focuses on inspiration and creativity. We are the only cooperative in Guatemala that does this kind of work, meaning, hand-blown glass. And this motivates us every single day. Our work lets us support our families and others too, as well as their families. So yes, okay, I'm not going to name any names of box stores, but don't go buy your last minute Thanksgiving glassware there, please. Or your gifts for your host that you need to bring with you when you go. Go order right now today, so you get it in plenty of time for the holidays. And then if you don't order with gift wrapping, you're going to have plenty of time to gift wrap it. Order today for Thanksgiving. That's why we're having the show right now, to give you plenty of time to order with regular shipping speed. And if you're hosting, order enough sets of these for everybody, and you will have them forever. They are so beautiful and unique and very celebratory. I love those. All right. What do we have up next? I think, okay, remember, I'm going to tell you about this beautiful tunic that I'm wearing that, of course, you could wear any time of year. But Michael, our merchandiser, thought it would be so beautiful, of course, to wear to Thanksgiving. And very, very feminine, right? Obviously, if you're into pink, which I am. Pink is all the rage right now, isn't it? From the Barbie movie. But yeah, very feminine. Oh, and this has such a story behind it too. It's so beautifully hand woven. All right, that comes from India. It's called Tender Blooms. And then I'm going to tell you all about that. But remember, please hit the like button, share, and comment with Jenna. We're doing all the giveaways right now, both for this beautiful NOVICA t-shirt. So you guys are all amazing ambassadors, but be even more a NOVICA ambassador. That's the back side. The front side says, give voice to the creative. Love that. And then, of course, NOVICA, the Impact Marketplace on the back. So Jenna's giving away some of those t-shirts, which, of course, you can re-gift or wear yourself in all sorts of sizes. She's in the comments right now. And she's giving those away randomly, and she'll let you know afterwards if you won. Likewise, multiple $50 gift certificates. So if you're not commenting, you can't win them. We want to give them away. So make sure you comment and chat with Jenna, and I'll read all your comments afterward. And let us know what you want to see next. We've got a few shows planned already coming up. But yeah, we're looking for new ideas. And if you guys help us spread the word enough that we grow this show, the goal is to go every day. So we're going to need a lot of help from you guys. What you want to see? Do we want to focus on regions? I'm really excited to focus on some of our new regions coming up soon. All right, so like, comment, share, 15% off all the prices you're seeing. We've got a bunch more gorgeous items coming right up. And 15% off with the code episode 9 after the show. If you're not getting to watch this live, have no fear. Through the weekend, you can use that code, and you don't have it unless you're here watching the show to buy anything at all you want on NOVICA. And so buy some big ticket items. It's Christmas time. Fill your shopping cart and buy tons of stuff and get 15% off, and you'll see how quickly that makes a big difference because you're watching the show. All right, so Tender Blooms is the name of this beautiful, beautiful tunic. So it's made of slub cotton. So slub cotton is this thing that's becoming more and more popular. Now it goes back to, of course, very rustic days before everything was so finely mass manufactured. But to make it today, you take the artisan takes all of the cotton threads and really kind of wraps them together and gets them twisted and a little distressed before beginning to weave. So it very intentionally has super texture. You can't see as well as I can feel the texture in it. If you look really close up, though, you can see it's got beautiful little nubs, and it also really helps create more of a pattern in the color, the way that he's woven the dyed cloth together. What other details can I tell you? So it's a very intentional vintage feel. That's so slub cotton. If you look into slub cotton, you'll see that's a thing. And with good reason, it feels so beautiful too, and homespun in a good way. Let's see, so slub fabrics are becoming very popular because of their uniqueness. Yeah, the kind of a raw cotton, like raw, you think of raw silk, but like a raw cotton element. Very easy carry, doesn't require much ironing. I did touch this up just a little bit when I unfolded it from the box because it ships all the way from India. but I didn't need much ironing because you had some more natural fabric and a little looser weave. Let's see, very delicate details. So it's got, the notched V-neck, which you can see. And then, I don't know if you can see, it's got little beads. So throughout the bodice here, these little white beads that are sewn in all along there, little dots. They're very textural. And elastic cuffs. And a very small dotted lace on the hem. Oh, yeah, it's in the hem. I don't know if you can see that. Very beautiful. All hand. Every one of these little aspects is handmade, which is so amazing. We have that from the artisan, Seema Shah, running from small to extra, extra large. So whatever size. And I'm wearing a small, and it's quite loose and comfortable on me. So all the sizing on NOVICA is true to US and European sizing and the other sizing regions that we have on our size chart. But if we say it's a small, it's going to be what you expect a small to be. We're very true to size because our artisan empowerment hubs, which are in each region and work with each artist, they are the ones deciding what sizes are labeled. So okay. No bleach, machine wash gentle, the artisan says, tumble dry low. Yeah. All right, let me tell you a little bit about Seema Shah. She's an apparel artisan designer in India. She was born in 1969. She settled in Jaipur after she got married. She was born in Delhi. She says, from a very young age, I used to paint and embroider with my grandmother. She was probably the one who inspired me. I had many teachers in my home, my grandmother, my mother, and my aunts. After I completed my graduation, I took some formal training after experimenting with my own clothes. And over the past 10 years, she says, we have generated a lot of employment in my local community. I'm very thankful to NOVICA for providing me a platform to showcase my designs online worldwide. We love that. And we love supporting artisan designers and artisans and artisan groups, all fair and trade, all over the world in remoter regions of the world that otherwise didn't have easy access to the world market. To you guys that appreciate these handmade fair trade works of art. And again, we ship to more than 100 countries. We've shipped to more than 80 just in this year, for example. So far, I'm sure we'll, as usual, get over 100 by the end of the year. And so that's really amazing. Millions of people are impassioned about handmade and fair trade and purchasing beautiful works of art like this and directly supporting artisans and their communities, because as an individual artisan becomes successful, they're able to hire other master weavers, maybe that had to resort to other types of labor that weren't in their skill set, just to bring home, to support the family. But now that they're seeing in many of the villages where we work a resurgence in these traditional crafts, it's really helping bring back the tradition and the culture and the history of these regions and micro-regions. And we're so inspired by that and proud of that. And that's so much of our mission. And so when I say we, I mean you too, because we're all doing this together. Without you, there is no NOVICA. And so you, the customers, are the ones really driving this. We are just the way that it's happening. All right. So let's see. Seema says in Jaipur, from a very young age, I used to paint and embroider with my grandmother. Oh, I think I already read that part. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I already told you all that. All right. So I'm going to show you this beautiful jewelry I'm wearing next. And Tara, you're going to love it.
I don't have an answer for that.
Uh-oh. That's my Alexa talking to me. Maybe Tara, I have to be careful when I say your name. All right, so join Jenna in the chat right now. She's giving away $50 gift certificates and NOVICA t-shirts to randomly selected winners. And hit the like button, please. We're so grateful, ever grateful. And share with 2 people. We'll grow so fast if you do. We're so grateful. And if you're seeing after the live show, remember 15% off everything through Sunday. So for several more days, we're Thursday right now. So 15% off. Only those of you watching right now are getting that code episode 9, number 9, and anything you want to purchase at all at NOVICA. Likewise, if you hit that buy now button, that's the shopping link in the top of the comments, we'd love to see some immediate sales. That, of course, is what supports the show's activity and us getting to keep talking to you and doing these shows, which I think are so important. But try to buy now if there's something you like. And yeah, we all need to get ready for Thanksgiving. So that's a good excuse. All right. So next I'm going to, one more thing before I show you the jewelry. I know Tara's waiting for the jewelry and many of our other amazing jewelry supporters. So this scarf is so beautiful. And Michael thought this would be just beautiful to wear on Thanksgiving. Of course, when you arrive and it's getting chillier out, this is such a beautifully, can you see the iridescence on this scarf? This is all made intentionally from bamboo fiber by the artisans in Guatemala because they are impassioned about environmental sustainability. And bamboo being such a sustainable resource and grows so fast, lickety split, as we know, those of us who have grown it, how it takes over. So this is all made of bamboo. It's so soft. I don't know if anybody's bought bamboo sheets yet, but they're so soft. What an amazing alternative fabric. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, you can see so much of the variation, kind of the sheen and the colors on this. Anyway, it goes gorgeous with this pink blouse from India. So you can spread it out. You know, you can wear scarves in so many ways traditionally, or you can also, I'm probably making a lot of noise with the microphone, or wear them more dramatically, draped over the back like that. But what a beautiful thing. And of course, to gift wrap this, either let us do it at NOVICA. We do the most gorgeous gift wrapping I've ever seen anywhere, for sure. So either, or buy it right now, do the buy now, and then get it in plenty of time to gift wrap yourself if you'd like. It has this beautiful fringe on it too. What a beautiful and a season appropriate gift this is. And all the hues do tie into Thanksgiving so beautifully. All those earth tones kind of mixed in with the green life tones. And the artisan puts a little NOVICA tag on this. Explore, empower, impact. So you'll get the artisan card that tells you about the artisan to save for yourself, or this goes along with the gift if you're giving this for Thanksgiving or birthday or Christmas or any other holiday. But yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about this iridescent scarf. It's by the Ka'amalon Ki'i Ka'onel Artisans Association in Guatemala. And I think most of us know here that are impassioned about traditional crafts. When we think about Latin America and everybody speaking Spanish, everybody doesn't speak Spanish. The Spanish came with the conquest, of course. So all the different empires and then all the different remote villages throughout Latin America, that's so many thousands and thousands of which still exist, maintain their own individual language and cultures and traditions. So, you know, when we think of Mexico, we think of Guatemala, we think we can just go down there, and if we're lucky to speak Spanish, we can communicate, but that's not necessarily true because there are so many different languages spoken depending on if you know, of course, yes, Spanish will work if you go to the big cities, but if you're visiting the artisans, often they don't speak Spanish. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute when we read the artisan bio. But so let's see, Tara, I think it was Tara that had asked us to describe a little more the colors. So this is very pastel. I think that the image on screen is a very true representation. I've got it here too, but pastel shades of blue, green, and gray. Timeless elegance, made from eco-friendly bamboo. Yep. Some of the women from this association that weaves this are responsible for dyeing the yarn. Others spin it, and then others weave it on the backstrap loom into the finished textile. So the backstrap loom is very traditional to also into certain villages in Mexico, but still in Guatemala. It's a very important cultural heritage that's still being continued, and that we're trying to help encourage, you know, through sales, that these traditions are maintained. And yeah, so unique. Everybody works from home in this association, this group, and so that's pretty amazing. And the name of the group, is not in Spanish, of course, it's in the native language. And that's why the pronunciation is a little tricky for me because I don't speak that language group. Yeah, anyway, so they have a representative, Glorinda, who, Una, at our headquarters, we have always had, of course, their artisan bio with their artisan. They've been with us on their page. They've been with us for some years now. But Una recently re-interviewed them for the NOVICA's Undiscovered Artisan Box. They're the featured curator of this upcoming box that's about to drop. If you guys subscribe to the Undiscovered Artisan Box, you'll discover that they're the artisan curators of that box. So very interesting. That's a quarterly box that gets shipped out. It's a subscription box, and you can find that on the NOVICA homepage. On the top right corner, you'll see Artisan Box. Click on that. You'll go to a whole new amazing world of the subscription boxes. So Una with NOVICA headquarters had just re-interviewed Glorinda. So she explained that at the beginning of time, the Maya legend says Grandmother the Moon, not Grandmother Moon, but Grandmother the Moon, who is the goddess Ixchel, taught the first woman to weave. And the symbols and colors woven into the warps and webs of Maya looms are handed down from mother to daughter, she said. And Una noted that while the Maya's libraries were burned and artifacts destroyed intentionally by conquerors to wipe out that culture and try to have that culture start anew with the Spanish culture that was invading, as Una was reminding us that through the textiles, especially through women weaving, the history of these Mayan villages continued to be told through their textile arts and continue to be told today. It's so interesting. So Glorinda from the association said, weaving is passed down through the generations. It connects us to our ancestors. In the 1980s, our weaving association was founded by a group of women widowed during Guatemala's Civil War, which remember went from 1960, I think it was at 1960 to 1996. It was a very long and very painful civil war that raged in Guatemala. And so many women were left alone. So many men died across the country. I mean, it was enormous loss of life. And so this weaving cooperative was one of many such organizations that formed to help create ways for women to sustain themselves. So Glorinda explains, my mother was a member. When I learned to weave, I began to help her because, like many Maya women, she did not speak Spanish. So she spoke the local Mayan language. And there are so many different languages too, like I said, in different villages. Distinct languages, not just dialects. So she did not speak Spanish and she could not read nor write. So when I turned 25, I became the president of our association, she says, and there are 200 active members today. And in the Maya language, the name means let's get together. So that's pretty apropos. The group's mission is to continue creating work for women weavers who specialize in traditional backstrap loom. And as I mentioned, they really focus now on bamboo as opposed to other fabrics because they feel it's so sustainable and ecologically soft on the environment. All right, so now we're turning to jewelry for all our jewelry lovers. I'm going to show you this gorgeous necklace and these beautiful earrings. These are from the Karen Hill tribe artisans in North Thailand. I've spent some time with these amazing ladies that make the jewelry there. Such an experience. I was there with, oh my gosh, I don't know if Daniel is watching or Christine Maxa. They are journalists that came with me to many of our, those two were for, I think Daniel was writing for the Christian Science Monitor and Christine for another major newspaper. And they came to Thailand and met with many of our artisans when we were launching and learned how they were crafting their crafts and what this opportunity, which was so groundbreaking and never been done before, artisan direct from remote regions of the world. Etsy didn't exist. And of course, Etsy is more focused on developing world and now is so commercial with so much mass manufacturing. But at the time, there was just NOVICA that was selling artisan direct in a big way. So I think they were with us in 2000 or 2001. And we got to go visit the Karen Hill tribe of outside Chiang Mai with Pia, who ran our office there at the time. She's our artisan empowerment hub. Is all staffed, of course, by locals and Thai. So she brought us up and introduced us. And most of the houses are on stilts and very, very traditional. It's like the West hasn't influenced, at least not where I was in the Karen Hill tribe areas. They arrived in the 18th century from Myanmar. So they were not native to what we now define as Thailand and these different, but they came in search of more fertile lands. And I believe they were also escaping conflict at the time. I think they came as refugees, but I got to double check that. But they're very well established it's the largest the largest non-Thai group in Thailand are the Karen Hill tribe people. So if you've seen pictures, I'm sure, in movies on National Geographic, of course, for sure, of the women with all the beaded necklaces, not beaded, but the barred necklaces that go loop up and up their neck, constantly adding more loops as they stretch their neck, permanently stretch their neck. So I don't think you'd want to take those necklaces off, but they wear them from a young age. Those who still follow the tradition, not everybody does that anymore, but some still adhere to it. And their necks just keep stretching with all these beautiful ornamentation. So anyway, well, I can't say I'm in favor of the neck stretching health aspects. Their mastery of jewelry and silversmithing especially is just beyond compare. And you really see that in all the details here. I don't know, I mean, we might call, what would we call these, Jim? If we were talking about like, let's see what I was thinking, like charms, but
Yeah, they look a little bit like charms or even like fern. There's a couple of those look like fern leaves, I
yeah,
guess, and
and
then
beautiful
the
flowers.
flowers. Yeah.
So very, it's very Thanksgiving in its overall look of, harvest and the bounty of nature. And so that's why Michael thought we would show those. And then these earrings that go with it, but are separate. So this is, so the beads that form the necklace, these are all individual beads that go all the way up and around, and it can be adjusted. So it has quite a bit of room for adjustment. I have actually on the tightest setting here, but it has some room for adjusting it if you want to wear it lower. I wear it higher because of this particular shirt. So all of those, what we might call charms, that are the different hanging elements of this necklace, are 950 sterling silver. So really the highest quality silver, highest concentration of silver you'd want in jewelry. It's very soft and malleable, very pure, but so pure that for example, the beads and the neck part of it, you use the 925, which is a little hardier. But then the even finer 950 is, which you don't even see that often these days, is composing all these charm-like items that are on it. So beautiful, this necklace. So Michael thought this would just be beautiful, of course, to wear for Thanksgiving. And I totally agree. Or again, to give as a gift to your hostess when you come for Thanksgiving. And also, if for those of us thinking ahead to the holiday shopping for Christmas and also for birthdays, what a beautiful gift that comes with a story behind it. Now, the Hill Tribe artisans, through language barriers and culture barriers, very much keep to themselves in their regions north of Chiang Mai. So the person that is promoting and selling them is a Thai lady. And because we are not selling all the bands, for example, of the neck art, that's the neck stretching art, she is a jeweler herself. I'm going to tell you her story, but she has brought some of her modern influences and highlights into their style of jewelry. So she is the artisan designer that is serving as the person that's bringing these to our attention, but she's also making them, adding some modernity to it so that these items of jewelry are useful to us today here in other cultures that are, slightly different. But definitely you see their incredible mastery of they do so much, the Karen Hill tribe, so much fine work, like these details in their sterling silver jewelry that they're very well known for. So this is called Nature's Miracle Necklace. And the artisan designer is Pak Asan Sonjin Tarit in Thailand. So she is in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And I mean, imagine, so you look at that price for some of the finest sterling silver there is, and then the 950 sterling silver on all these charms. I mean, that's just unbelievable price. And the only way that's possible, of course, is because NOVICA makes artisan direct possible. So the artisan is earning more than they ever could historically. Always in the past, generally artisans in these remote regions being taken advantage of by multiple tiers of middlemen, from the village level through the international level, getting these things to a market where we'd find them today, in New York or California or Idaho or anywhere around the world, and Canada and Europe. I mean, the prices that you would expect to pay for something like that really would be in the hundreds of dollars at least. And you never get to know the name of the artisan or the artisan designer in this case. And you would never get to know the story behind it. You just see it and think it's beautiful, but not know anything about the history or culture or how much handwork. Imagine all those little stamens inside the petals of each of those flowers that you can see, and all the little intricacy of the 950 sterling silver leaves that are actually all carefully microscopically etched by these ladies. Amazing. Okay, so what can I tell you about that? Edith says, she's a jewelry customer. She says, a beautiful work of wearable art. My necklace arrived today in lovely packaging. Of course. Oh, and that necklace. So with all the jewelry, all NOVICA jewelry has automatic, beautiful gift wrapping that comes with it at no charge. You can pay more for the premium gift wrapping, which I highly recommend. It's a minor cost, and the external gift wrapping we do is extraordinary. But for example, this necklace comes in this beautiful, I mean, this is a handmade paper. You see, like there's a leaf, a beautiful actual leaf impressed on that. I don't know if you can see quite how amazing this is. So, and a coconut wood button. So nobody even mentions this except me, but you think you're just ordering that necklace for $39.99 minus the 15% if you buy now. And then you get it actually, you know, I've already taken it out of here, but it comes in this beautiful, all handmade paper, a pressed paper box, all ecologically sustainable. And we love that. And of course, it comes with a keepsake card that tells you or your recipient all about the artisan and the story behind it. So we love that. All right, so I had to show you that today because that's really exceptional. Most of the jewelry, though, that's smaller, comes in little gift bags from the region of origin. So depending which region you're purchasing from, I just dropped mine here, you'll get it. So this came from Thailand. So this is what my earrings from the same artisans came in, and they're smaller. So they came in this beautiful handmade, beautiful traditional Thai motif gift bag. So that's the free gift wrapping. You don't even get charged for. So anyway, really shopping is an extraordinary experience with NOVICA, as I think I'm speaking to the choir again because all of you probably have already shopped with us. So please hit the like button and share it. Really importantly, share it to everybody you know who's shops, which is all of us, for jewelry, home decor, or apparel, everything for men and women. There is no need to shop anywhere else. The prices are amazing. A story comes with every single thing, and the artisans benefit, and you, our customers, benefit because the prices are extraordinary for you too. Okay, so Edith, Edith, the customer says, yes, it came with a handwritten note from the artist, all beautifully done. But the most amazing part is this gorgeous necklace. The craftsmanship is just stunning. The hand wrought components are each exquisite and just the right size and weight, petite, not heavy. Such a beautiful piece that I'll enjoy wearing and then sharing with my granddaughter one day. It is an heirloom piece for sure. Thank you, 3 exclamation marks. Yes, I love that she's going to pass this on, and that one day someone will have this, and I'm sure she'll keep that keepsake card with it, and they'll always know that there's a real person who made this with a name in a place that's special and has a story and cultural history too, and that it's helping support an ancient tradition that's being kept alive, which is incredible silversmithing that the Karen Hill tribe is known for. John says, a beautiful necklace. I purchased this necklace for my wife and she absolutely loves it. Great craftsmanship, extremely pleased. Mary in Kansas says, this is my heirloom for my granddaughter. Very beautiful. There's another one. Yep, for sure. I agree. All right. Well, we're going to be a little longer show today, which is great. All of you who can stay with us, please do. And we're so grateful to have you here. I have just a couple more things to show you. I'm going to show you these beautiful earrings. And of course, I have to show you the painting of the week. It's so beautiful, and it's Thanksgiving, and it's one of a kind. I think it's one of a kind, or it's hand painted, and it's also from Guatemala, like a few of our other items were. I'll show you that in just a minute. It's just extraordinary. Wait till you hear this artisan's story too, artist's story. Okay, so the flower trio, these beautiful earrings I'm wearing, they're also by the same Karen Hill tribe artisans. 3 flower charms and a super high quality 950. Again, all of this art that's on the earrings are all 950 sterling, 950 silver, and then all the rest is the 925, which is a standard high quality sterling silver. So 925 indicates 92.5% sterling. They add other metals into the silver to make it more stronger. The 950 is even pure, so 95% pure sterling, very soft and malleable. So they use the stronger silver for the actual hoops and the hooks. So 3 flower charms and super high quality 950 Karen Hill Tribe silver with tiny rondelle beads. So you see the beads in between. So they swing on this. They're loose and yeah, they feel really good. They're very light. They're not heavy. Really like these. I'll tell you a little bit about the artisan designer who in Thailand, who I mentioned, who works directly with the Hill Tribe artisans. And she brings some of her, she's a longtime jewelry artisan who, I'll tell you her story, that she brings some of modern influences and sizing and types of jewelry in. And then the Karen Hill Tribe infuses their styles, which are all these intricate silver works, with her styles that are more maybe expected for us in the West to be wearing, as opposed to the neck bands and other jewelry items that we don't wear. All right, so 30 years ago, Pacaron says, my parents sold souvenirs, bags, scarves, silk, etc. And they're again in Chiang Mai area, so that's northern Thailand. Gorgeous. If you haven't been to Chiang Mai, oh gosh, I wish I could talk with everybody. Jim, have you been to Chiang Mai yet? So beautiful.
I have not, but I'll have to put it on my list.
We have an artisan empowerment hub in there, and it's just one of the most beautiful, and beautiful not just in terms of landscape and culture and of course the food, but it is like the city of the arts. So everyone, it seems, is an artist, and all these extraordinary handcrafts are readily seen and available. And there's just such a deep culture of handmade. Oh, I love it there. And of course, I can eat Thai food 3 meals a day. All right. So she says, then my mother met the Karen Hill Tribe people and got to know about their culture. She fell in love with their arts and crafts, including their silver jewelry. Each piece has a story and significance which appear through various patterns. Yeah. My parents got to know more and more silversmiths from the Hill Tribe villages and eventually began to work with many of them. When I was young, I often followed my mom to the Hill Tribe villages. I think it was Pacaron that I went with to the villages. I know Pia was there, and we had another person with us too. This was so many years ago. I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it might have been her, but I have to check with Pia and find out. But I think she took us up there. I have beautiful photographs from that trip. She said, I was amazed by their silversmithing abilities. With just a few simple tools, they create impressive pieces. And then she says of herself, the allure of silver jewelry took me to run my family's project. We blend traditional and modern designs. 50 people now collaborate with us. 80% are women. We love that. NOVICA greatly supports women, small business entrepreneurs, which are all these artisans. About half of our artisans are women. I mean, I'm just so proud of that fact. That is throughout remote regions of the world, often where women have, in some places where women have less of a voice, in some places they have more, actually, historically. But yeah, I love that we work with so many women. In this case, 80% of the women making all these beautiful designs that you'll find on her page on NOVICA, they are women. I'm happy to give them certainty and a permanent income. So that's the story. All right, so now I'm going to show you a couple more amazing things, or one more thing. I think just one more thing that I've really been waiting to show you. I'm dying to show you this. I love our painters and all their extraordinary work that they put into it. Right before I start that, remember to hit the like button, share to people at least that you know that are going to go shopping in the next couple of weeks, and see if we can get them to shop here and join our family. And and comment with Jenna, because she is giving away beautiful t-shirts as well as $50 gift certificates that come so gorgeously packaged that they make great gifts to give to recipients. And then other people can have the NOVICA shopping experience. But if you buy NOVICA items and then give them as a gift, of course, they get the whole experience too. So remember, 15%, everything we've shown you today, so many beautiful items, definitely several that highly recommend bringing with you if you're a guest on Thanksgiving or if you're a host, using as your centerpiece or as those beautiful, weren't those hand-blown champagne flutes gorgeous? I love those, so unique and yet so practical at the same time. Great gifts and great on a Thanksgiving table. Everything Jim's showing you, all the prices are 15% off if you purchase, if you do the buy now right now, the first link at the top pinned to our comments. Or if you shop over the next few days on NOVICA.com website itself, so you got to go there. And if you're going to do that, through Sunday, if you're watching this after the live stream, 15% off anything you'd like to purchase. So we would love your ongoing support, and all the artisans are so excited we're doing this. So yes, if you guys are faithful, loyal followers, help us make this show even bigger. Greatly appreciate it. All right, here we go. We've got 2 more items. So we have Jim's favorite of the day, which he's thinking about buying. This beautiful 100% alpaca cardigan for men. This is our men's gift item or wear to Thanksgiving item. Is that perfect or what? I love this. It's so beautiful, handmade in the highlands of Peru. 100% alpaca, which as we know is hypoallergenic for people that are allergic to wool, which is many people, including myself. It won't make most of us itchy. And it's lighter than wool for the amount of heat it holds. So yeah, it's known to be super warm even when it's a little bit lighter. So we love this. This is such a beautiful design. Look at these beautiful coconut shell buttons. Can you see those? All hand carved buttons, of course. So beautiful and so soft. Alpaca is so much softer than wool. It's known for its softness, its lightness, and its heat. And yeah, everyone in Peru still wears alpaca. The alpaca are revered family members too. They are really pets as opposed to, yeah, they are the source of livelihood for so many families and villages, and they live with the families often as part of and they're not, of course, the alpaca is not injured at all. They get sheared and are probably very relieved in the warmer seasons to get rid of all that excess fleece. We call it fleece. Actually, it's a little different than wool. And it was, it was especially the baby alpaca reserved for Incan royalty. So you could even wear that, especially the vicuña, which is a whole strain of alpaca. You couldn't wear that if you weren't a royal back in the days of the Inca Empire. But now we can buy it artisan direct through NOVICA.com. So we love that. That's called Andean Zigzag. It's 100% alpaca. I love that it's pure alpaca. It's by Ricardo and Caesar in Peru. That price is amazing if you have shopped for pure 100% alpaca and, you know, a really significant sweater like that. And again, everything right now that Jim's showing you, all the prices are 15% off if you shop now on the live stream. Somebody you know is going to be so happy to get that for Christmas or to wear to Thanksgiving. If you're not sure what you're wearing to Thanksgiving, perfect. And just so elegant. And you can see some of those Incan motifs very, you know, definitely woven in there. The Incans are very geometric, right? If you look at their ruins, all their extraordinary stonework they did, and also in their textile, that's reflected in their textiles. So you can see the Incan motifs, but it's kind of in a subtle way. So yeah, definitely crosses borders and cultures with that extraordinary sweater cardigan. Love that. So remember, 15% off everything you're seeing right now if you do the buy now on the live stream, or if you try to find it later on NOVICA.com. Also, or anything else on NOVICA, 15% off if you shop through Sunday with episode 9, and that's only seen by those of you watching the show right now. So take advantage of that, please. And then we'll also know that people are watching the show, and that helps me convince the founders to do more of this and more often, which we would love to do. And the artisans are so psyched to get to see their stuff live getting shown here. It's such a boost for them. So yeah, thank you for being our ambassadors and helping us make this all possible. All right, so Tara had mentioned, talking about the colors a little more. Thank you, Tara, one of our favorite viewers. So lichen brown top, pumpkin accents in there. Very cozy, very warm. Shawl collar, coconut shell buttons, like I mentioned. Artisans recommend dry clean or else hand wash cold water and lay flat. We have that in small to extra, extra large. And of course, everything's handmade, so we don't have a lot of any one item that you're seeing now. So if you like it, put it in your shopping cart and buy it before everybody else watches the show tonight and then on the weekend, which is when most of our viewers come on. Yeah, because that'll disappear pretty quick. Tina says, what a great Christmas cardigan. My son absolutely loved this. She purchased it last year. My son absolutely loved this cardigan and welcomed getting another one, same style, different print. So she got him two from the same, probably the same artist. Rick says, exceeded expectations, exclamation mark. This is really a beautiful alpaca cardigan. Fit was perfect and true to size, 5 stars. Yes. Just a little bit about the artisan before I show you our last amazing work of art. So Ricardo and Cesar, so it's a duo. They run the business together. They're the artisan designers in Peru. Ricardo says, my mother taught me everything that I know today. As a child, I saw how she put passion into everything she created, and it was precisely that passion that captivated me. The fact that I could create things with my hands always fascinated me. It's totally incredible to see how a simple cone of yarn, because you picture the yarn on the spool or cone, can be transformed into works of textile art. And Cesar shares the same love and passion for this art form, which brings us closer, he said. Together we create beautiful designs that we share with everyone who wants to learn to knit. Our dream is to show the entire world the art and talent in our textiles. So I love it when artisans, and many of them do, they love passing on their crafts, of course, because these traditions are such heritage traditions. And thank goodness there are people out there trying to keep them alive. And they can only keep them alive if people actually buy them, which is where NOVICA came into being, to help the artisans earn more than they could in remote regions before the internet, before NOVICA as a marketplace was a possibility. These traditions were often fading and dying because there wasn't enough demand for these products that are so beautiful and handmade. So let's see, Ricardo says, we are very grateful for this wonderful opportunity to grow as artisans and to show our work to the world outside our borders. Yes, we're so glad to have you. Remember, join Jen in the chat. We're still giving away $50 gift certificates and these beautiful NOVICA t-shirts. We would love to give these to our favorite chatters in the comments. And I can't wait to read what you guys say. I look so forward to that every week on all our different platforms that we're simulcasting on, to see what you have to say and what you want to see in the show. Our previous 2 shows were all because of Tara, our jewelry, passionate jewelry customer, suggested we do jewelry episodes, so we did too. So yeah, let us know what you want to see. And if you have favorite artisans you want to see showcased, we're going to try to fit everything in. So love your feedback. And I love knowing you guys are out there and actually watching. It makes me so happy. All right, so we're moving on to our very last item. And if you're getting ready to check out, do it now while the show's going on. 15% off everything in your shopping cart. Put it in. If you click on that pinned first link in the chat, you can watch the show and shop at the same time. Thanks to our partner, Extremely, and Jim, who's making this all possible behind the scenes. All right, so this is also for sale too. A beautiful handmade painting that you could have in your home in time for Thanksgiving. And that is so beautiful year round. But I looked through so many of our different paintings. I mean, we have thousands of paintings by amazing painters in remote regions around the world. And this just struck me as something that you could buy now and have for Thanksgiving, but also is completely appropriate year round. Imagine having that in your dining room or your kitchen or any room in your house, but I definitely like the dining room theme. Have that, on the wall at the end of your table this year. There's only one, so buy it now. He does do more than one, this artist, but they're all a little bit different. And this is the one he has available right now. So if you put that in your shopping cart, get ready to check out before we're done, you guys, which is going to come up in a minute. All right, so that is called Thanksgiving. Now, he is in Guatemala, so yeah, we have several amazing Guatemalan artisans today, and this artist too, fine artist. So Thanksgiving, and he calls it Thanksgiving in the broader sense. He didn't design this for the Thanksgiving that we celebrate here in North America, or in our part of America, but in just the general sense of giving thanks. And so let me see what he says about that. Yeah, a vase of calla lilies, colorful corn cobs, and of course, As we know in Mayan culture, the corn is central. It's like they're one of the most central icons. It's so central to their life force as a food staple and as a symbol of life and culture throughout the Mayan Empire. And then the candle also in there. So he says the flame and the flowers represent benevolence. We love that. So that original painting is 24 inches high by 32 inches wide by 0.8 inches deep. Oil on canvas. It arrives stretched on frames. Boy, stretching costs. I just had a couple paintings stretched. They cost a couple $100 each. So that painting at $389 arrives stretched. Pretty amazing. Again, the price is possible. An original oil paint. I think that's original oil. Yeah, oil on canvas. Only possible because you're shopping artisan direct. So the artisan's actually benefiting immensely by the fact that you are saving immensely and purchasing directly from him. So we love that. That's our founding mission. And we're all here for one reason, to change the world through fair trade. And in NOVICA's case, through handmade. And so as you are, all of our amazing supporters and customers. Okay, so this is hand painted. You can leave that up for a little bit there, Jim, while I talk about Bonnie. So he goes by Bonnie. His name is Bonificio Maxia Cutzal in Guatemala. He says, in my hometown, everybody calls me Bonnie. My father worked in the fields. I went to school, but only for 1 year. My family couldn't afford to keep me in school, so at the age of 11, I went to work. And this is so true of so many of our artisans. He did, at the age of 34, complete his primary education, I think secondary education. So yeah, as an adult, he determined he was going to finish his education. But yeah, so at 11, he went to work. When he was 15, he began his trajectory in art. He said, I'm very grateful to my cousin for all I've accomplished. He gave me pigments and materials so I could work. Today, I try to return the favor by helping others who need my assistance. I love that. It's true of so many stories that we come across in NOVICA, and that all of us come across in our own lives around the world in all circumstances. But we get to read all these biographies at NOVICA because we have thousands and thousands and thousands of master artisans who share their stories, all profiled on NOVICA with their photo and their biography. And so many have come from these, well, they have not come from, they live in these remote regions, and are so grateful for these opportunities to increase their income and to earn fair prices, that so many pay it forward. Oh, we see so much of that in our West Africa region too. I'm going to tell you so many more stories there. But throughout the world, I think when people, experience the joy of benevolence, we all want to share that when we experience it, because we're reminded of it. So yeah, so he does that as a practice. Everyone who asks me for help receives it, he said, if I can possibly do so. He said, I dedicate part of my time to farming still because I'm not able to support my family through paintings alone. He said, I'm proud that all 6 of my children are in school. And this was an older bio. I think they might have graduated by now. He said, today, most of my paintings have been inspired by things I've experienced. Part of my theme is the poverty in which many of us campesinos are submerged. So you don't necessarily see that in this painting, but in many of his paintings, he creates these beautiful, beautiful panoramic scenes of campesinos, the villagers, where in his village, and they're just spectacular. So he said, part of my theme is the poverty in which many of us campesinos are submerged. That said, they're all just beautiful paintings, nonetheless. So colorful. Bonifacio's work has been exhibited in Guatemala, Norway, and now in Denmark. So awesome. So yeah, if you love that painting, grab it now. There's only one of them. And people are going to be watching this throughout the weekend. I think we had 5,000 views of our show. Ultimately, total viewers through the week. And we're new and we're trying to spread. And there's so few of us here when we're actually live. But more people are watching over the weekend. So if you see something you like, remember they're either one of a kind or limited quantities. So shop now, buy now. And in the spirit of Thanksgiving and in the spirit of NOVICA, and in keeping with the fact that we're reminded by all the turmoil and world events now in so many regions of the world where people are suffering greatly, and we're so lucky if we're not in those regions and we're okay right now where we are, let's remember to be benevolent in the ways that we can and the ways we can afford to be, whether it's helping a neighbor or shopping direct through artisans or wherever you shop, not just through NOVICA, but always thinking before you hit that buy button, where, who's benefiting, and let's make sure it counts. We all work very hard for our shopping dollars, and so it means more if they go places where they're really appreciated by individuals. So highly recommend that. Let's all go forth and do something amazing today. Do something. I'm going to figure out, I haven't decided yet. I'm going to do something today for somebody. Somebody maybe lost and forgotten that needs a phone call. Why don't we all go out and make a pact that we're all going to do that today? Everybody who's watching us today or anytime through the weekend, think of one thing you can do to help change the world today. And changing the world is easy, you guys. We can do that in our own block, on our own street, and many times in our own home. And peace begins at home. So let's work on that and have that in our minds as we go forth for the rest of the day. And we're so grateful for those of you who spent part of your day with us here today. I'm so glad I got to spend part of mine with you. And we'll see you next Thursday, same time, same place.